Hi, how are you today? You know, I've been telling you that I was going to say something about our Facebook life. And today just seemed like the day that I wanted to talk to you about that. So here we go. One of the things that I see all the time is people who come to me and they talk about how amazing someone else's life, and that's based on what they see about that person on Facebook, right? Have you ever had that thought? You look at someone's page and you're like, wow, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. Like they've got all this amazing things. And what do you do with that? Do you then turn that into a moment of comparison and say, well, they've got this, this, and this, and I don't have that, that, or that, right? Not a great thing to do. You know, comparison is really the death of compassion. Comparison gets us in a place where we're not being kind to ourselves and we're tending to probably end up putting ourselves down. That's not a great idea. That is not a part of radical self-care, not in the slightest. See, here's the thing about Facebook. People put up whatever they put up, right? So if I look at my feed, I put up things that I find to be positive or inspiring or that make me happy. That's the reason that I use Facebook. Does that mean that everything in my life is positive, inspiring, and makes me happy? No, not everything. And there are these times when I get on and I'll tell you about struggles that I've had or things that are difficult because I'm trying to be clear and honest about the fact that we all have struggles, right? There is nobody whose life is perfect. And yet we look at this stuff on Facebook and we think, oh, perhaps their life is perfect and mine isn't. And then we do that comparison thing where like, ooh, something's wrong with me or I'm not good enough. And that's just not the truth because everybody's life has challenges in it. And so in part, I want you to think about what is that person, well, first of all, what are you using Facebook for? Do you go on Facebook and say, what can I see that's great about everyone else? Because that's going to be a reflection of what I don't think is great? Or are you using it as a way to feel better or feel positive or just find something that's interesting? Maybe you just use Facebook to pass the time, right? Or maybe you use it to keep in touch with people. I have had wonderful opportunities to connect with people from many decades in my past. And that's fabulous. I love that, right? And I love hearing about the wonderful things that other people are doing. So that's wonderful because I just used the word wonderful a lot, didn't I? Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm trying to not say awesome all the time, but so apparently we're replacing awesome with wonderful. But here's the thing. When I see something that's great in someone else's life, that is not then meant to be a trigger for me to say, oh, is my life good enough? Or do I have something that's that great? It's not about comparison, right? Courage is in loving yourself and embracing radical self-care no matter what, right? Because what's going on in someone else's life, that's their life. That's not your life. You are responsible for your thoughts, feelings, and actions and your life. And they're responsible for their thoughts, feelings, and actions and their life. And if you think about it, do you really want to see everything that's really difficult and tragic or dramatic that's going on in somebody else's life? I mean, if you're that close to them, you probably hear about that anyway when you're communicating with them. And if something really big happens, that's an opportunity to sort of chime in and give support or share awareness or help somebody out. Right? So I'm not saying don't ever share things that are difficult, but I'm not saying that you have to either, right? What you do with Facebook and how you approach it and how you receive it, that's on you. And you don't have to use this as an opportunity to feel bad. You can use this as an opportunity for information, for awareness, for support, for inspiration. You can use it to pass your time. You can use it for whatever you want. But Facebook is just a snapshot in any given moment, right? It's a method of communication. But that doesn't mean it's the true communication. It doesn't mean it's the only communication. It's just a snapshot, right? So if you look at a picture of somebody on a beach, that's great. Yay, they're happy, they're on a beach. That's phenomenal. Maybe you want to be on a beach. If you want to be on a beach, think about what do you need to do so that you can be on the beach, right? Or think about a time that you were on the beach and that felt great. Or maybe even just think, oh, good for them. That's awesome, because that's their life and I'm glad that that's happening for them. But it doesn't have to be something that you then think is a reflection of what you do or don't have. The more that you're caught up in comparing to somebody else's life, really the less attention you're paying to you and who you are and what's going on in your own life. And that's the only life you can do anything about, right? So it's a better idea to sort of say, where am I at? What do I want? And be thoughtful about what are you using and what are you taking in and what are you choosing to focus on, right? So I hope that when I'm posting things, that what you think is, oh, good for you, that's great, or that's nice, or hey, how wonderful that she's happy. Or maybe you see something and it was a down day and you're like, oh, okay, that made me feel a little better. I mean, that's really my hope, is that when you watch a Facebook Live or you see something that I've posted, that it sparks something that's positive for you and that helps you bring about that place. Because that's how I'm feeling or how I'm wanting to feel. Because that's the other thing. Sometimes you're not feeling that great, but what you can do is go to a place, find something, post something, look at something that helps you feel better, right? And in fact, it's true that many times pictures evoke more feelings for us even than words. So seeing a picture of something or reading something that's positive can help you make the choice to get in a better place. And that's just a matter of how are you using it. It's a resource, that's all. It's a communication method, it's a resource, but it's not something to personalize about your worth or your value, right? Facebook, it's just a thing. So do what you want with it. Look at it, don't look at it, enjoy it, think it's pointless. Any of those are up to you. But when you're doing whatever it is, whatever your position is about Facebook, do that with compassion for yourself and have the courage to treat yourself well, to engage in the aspect of radical self-care that says, I know that I'm the one who's responsible for how I think, feel, and act. And I'm not going to learn anything about how I think, feel, and act by comparing myself to somebody else. So that's the thought for the day. I'd love to know your thoughts, what you're doing. How do you use Facebook? Does it help you? Does it not? Do you get caught up in that trap? And if you do, if you have any super awesome tips that you want to share with other people about how you stay out of comparison, we love to share all the time. Literally, I think you've heard me say this before, but I spend 90% of my life doing things that I love. And 10% is the stuff that, life happens or I don't love. And that's okay, because I really work to make a choice to say, either I don't love it, so I'm not doing it, or I didn't love it, but how can I make it something that I'm enjoying? Or does it fall in the 10%? Because, there's nothing that's perfect. And that's like totally, totally cool. Anyway, that's my thought. Just wanted to drop in, say hi, and share that. You didn't hear from me this past week because I had a pretty busy schedule with lots of speaking and sharing information with people about how we rewire our brain. And right now, it's this combination of radical self-care and rewiring so that we have success. Success in business, success in our life. And, you get to see that demonstrated on Facebook. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.